guys, it's Dana. Spring is in the air, so I've invited a friend over to share a really simple project with us.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and we're gonna show you how to grow wheatgrass in pretty containers to bring springtime into your home.
Okay, so let's do it.
Great.
Wheatgrass is really adorable, and it feels so soft under your hands. And when I went over to Catherine's house last spring, she had all these cute little containers on her counter filled with wheatgrass. I asked her about the process, and I was amazed at how simple it was.
It really is simple. With only just a few items, you can have in a few days your own little bowl of wheatgrass to display out on your counter.
And it's really fun to do with kids. It's like this science project happening right before their eyes.
It's so fun. Wheat is unique in that way that it sprouts quickly and you have green grass before you even know it.
Yes, it's amazing. And you can also use wheatgrass for other things like juicing or for health benefits, but today we're just focusing on this cute little decorative aspect.
Totally.
Okay, here's what you need. Wheat berries, a little bit of soil, and a container. Okay, first of all, let's just talk about wheat. I mean, where do you even get wheat?
Right. Whenever I think of wheat berries, I think about a story that my mom loves to tell at bridal showers.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's about this newlywed bride who just wants to do the very best job that she can at being a wife and a cook, and she wants to try to make everything she makes out of scratch. Only she can't figure out where to buy scratch. Wheat berries are kind of that same thing. We use it, there's so much flour and wheat in our everyday lives,
Right.
but we forget about the wheat berries that it all came from and where we get them.
Because, I mean, 100 years ago, you probably just, if you ran out of wheat, popped over to the next farm, knock on the door, can I borrow a cup of wheat?
Yeah.
Which I actually did when I needed some from Catherine because she has a bunch of wheat in her house because her in-laws own a wheat farm. But
you don't have to be the niece of a wheat farmer to be able to get yourself some wheat berries.
yes, I actually purchased this online for about $10 for this entire bag.
And that bag is gonna last Dana a long time. You're gonna be able to make a lot of little containers of wheatgrass for that from years to come.
Definitely.
And it doesn't spoil, so you don't have to worry about that. Whole wheat in its wheat berry form will last a very, very long time.
And there are different kinds of wheat. What we have here is soft white wheat, hard white wheat, and hard red wheat. And the major difference between soft and hard, I think, is just the amount of gluten that's in it.
Right.
But again, we're not experts. We're just showing you how to do a fun craft.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's plant some.
Great.
When Catherine showed me the steps to make wheatgrass, I got super interested, so I went online and watched some more videos, and the process can really get as complicated as you want.
For sure.
Some of the ones that I watched first germinated the seeds, which I've done in this jar here. You basically put about a cup of wheat in. I poked some holes in the top with a nail so that water can drain out. And then for the first couple days, I kept filling it with water, kind of shaking it around, and I turned it at a 45-degree angle so all the water would come out. And that's one way if you want to get the seedling started. You can see all those little roots there. In fact, some of them even have little pieces of grass. This is probably about 2 days right here. And if you were to let that stay in the jar for much longer than you're supposed to, you can see what's happened here. There's just all these little roots and pieces of grass that have already started. But it doesn't really need to be that complicated for what we're doing here. So you show me how you do it.
Okay, yeah, I've never done that complicated of a process. So all I do is I start with growing medium, which is just a little bit of dirt. Okay. Sometimes I even go outside my garden if I don't have a bag handy of potting soil or anything. So I'm just gonna fill my container most of the way to the top.
And again, the grass doesn't need much dirt. The container I'm using is really shallow. I think you could even grow it in water sometimes. I mean, as you can see, this has been growing without even any dirt.
Yep.
But for decorative purposes, fill your container up so that it fills to the top.
Okay, so just about to the very tippy top. Then I'm gonna take my wheat berries and I'm gonna put a pretty thick layer over the top. I want a really thick looking pot when it's done. And to do that, you know, we just want to fill it up and make sure it makes it really bushy and kind of spill out over the top like Dana's containers had before. Really simple. Okay, so then I'm going to generously wet it down at the very beginning here. I'm really gonna give it a good soak because we need those seeds to germinate and pop that little root out the bottom. Okay, I gave it a really good soak.
Let me try mine, there we go.
Nice.
Okay,
great.
Now what?
Now we want it to stay moist until those seeds really have a chance to germinate and start to make contact with that soil. Okay. So we're gonna cover with some plastic wrap.
Okay.
And this is the best part. We just watch it for a couple of days.
Yay!
Now, there's going to be a little condensation that may form on top of the plastic wrap, and that's okay. That tells us that the moisture is staying inside of the container, which is what we want.
Okay.
If it's starting to look a little bit dry, which you're gonna need to check it a couple of times a day, just glance at it as you walk by. Yep, you're gonna lift your plastic and give it a little more water and keep that plastic covered down over the top until you start to see those seeds coming to life.
I find that I spray them probably a few times a day.
Okay,
Even.
yeah.
And my
It's gonna
kids think
depend
it's
on your
fun
container.
too. Yes,
Totally.
they want to help out.
The kids love to watch and get involved, and you know, you don't want it to be sitting in a pot of mushy water.
Right.
So you don't want to let the kids really spray
Go
it to
crazy.
death, go crazy, exactly.
Which kids can
But you know, it's a pretty loose.
Okay. And then
thing.
just put it in a place you don't want direct sunlight.
Right.
But a kitchen is a great room, or somewhere where it can just be kind of in the middle of the room and get
A bright
some-
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I was just thinking as we're talking, these would be adorable for a dinner party. You could grow them and put little like
For sure.
name tags. Maybe
That
we
would
should
be
do that.
so cute.
We're having a dinner next week.
Yes, great
Okay.
idea.
You have
I
some
love
a
that
bunch of
idea.
those cute little bowls.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. Okay, I'm gonna see how mine grows this week. Will you start the ones for the dinner
For
party?
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be great.
Awesome.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
thanks. It's been about a week. That's how long it takes to grow a really nice container of wheatgrass. And I've also started some other containers so you can see the process happening. Here's the first day, which is what Catherine and I showed you how to do. You can see the wheat berries in there, keep them nice and moist, keep it covered. Not much is happening yet. But by about 2 days, you can see that it already has some little roots forming and some tiny little pieces of grass in there. Again, you want to keep spraying it throughout the day, keep it moist, keep it covered. And you'll know when to take this plastic covering off once the grass kind of starts pushing it off of your container. You can see that here, it's now uncovered. And if you ever start to get any little pieces of mold or things like that, it's no big deal. Once it gets more exposure to the air, that will go away. Then you can see my next container here. And don't worry if not all the pieces of grass are coming up at once. You'll be amazed that just by the next day, so much more grass is there. Some are still kind of struggling to grow out. They're kind of buried under the other wheat berries. But then by about a week, this is actually about a week and a half. So you can keep it growing as long as you want. But just like that, you have a really cute container of grass to decorate your house or to give to a friend. For more ideas, you can check out my website, madeeveryday.com. And now I've got to go get ready for a party. And I'm excited to see what Catherine's grass looks like. Let's go check it out. Hi! Oh my gosh! Those look so great!
They came up great. Yeah.
Everything's coming up wheatgrass. Okay, I have the name tag, so let's come in and we'll get set up.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna love these little name tags I made. I took wooden skewers from the grocery store and cut out some craft paper. They look really cute.
Perfect. That'll be great.
And I cannot believe all this grass.
Isn't
So
it great?
awesome.
I know, and they came up so evenly.
I know.
Yeah.